When you listen to the term highly intelligent, many types come to mind. For example, people who know random facts, people who are good at mental calculations, people who seem tactical and find solutions to problems really quick. But in reality, the truth is somewhat different. In order to be called intelligent, you don't need to have a high IQ. In fact, it's been proven by experts that many people who possess high levels of intelligence don't even know how creative and smart they actually are. A person who has high intelligence is said to be flexible in how they think and how quickly they adapt to changes. They're bound to think before they speak or act, and hence they are able to manage their emotions in an effective manner. In short, it could be said that they possess different types of intelligence, including intellectual, social, and emotional intelligence, and many more. As proved, most smart people don't know that they have and possess above average intelligence. While some people are emotionally intelligent, others excel at problem solving. Relative to popular belief, only memory and logical reasoning are parts of intelligence. In contrast, not being able to solve mathematical problems or memorize long paragraphs doesn't make you a less intelligent person. While the popular idea of intelligence continues to suffer an incorrect reputation, there are some common traits that say you might be an exceptionally intelligent person. Recently, researchers and theorists have looked at the many different characteristics of highly intelligent people and how much they have in common with different people. For example, a 2016 study published in the British Journal of Psychology found that highly intelligent people actually prefer to be alone. It has been found that smarter people tend to feel lower life satisfaction when they hang out with friends more often. According to evolutionary psychology, humans evolved to be intelligent to solve problems, so people who are happiest on their own are considered very intelligent because they can overcome challenges on their own without help. Rest assured, if you're a social butterfly, that doesn't mean you're not smart. You may possess other qualities that demonstrate your intelligence, such as the ability to easily talk and connect with other people. While the famous idea of intelligence continues to bear with an incorrect and foul reputation, there are some habitual traits that tell you how you might be an exceptionally intelligent person. You're curious about small things. It's easy to assume that very intelligent people enjoy reading, but being smart is not being able to skim several books a day. It's about being curious about anything and everything. Smart people seize other people with their curiosity and passion to ask questions like who, what, where, when, how, and why. They love learning about other people, cultures, animals, history, and the world at large. While enjoying reading isn't necessarily a sign of intelligence, it does show that you're interested in learning and curious. Scientists from the University of Toronto and the Samuel Lunenfield Research Institute at Mount Sinai Hospital have found evidence that curiosity and intelligence are correlated. Exploratory behavior is associated with better information processing, memory, and learning. It's no secret that people remember answers they came up with better than those with a spoon. Highly intelligent people often doubt and wonder more because they think of more possibilities than others. Curiosity itself also encourages them to find the answer. If you can't stop thinking about how climate change will end life on Earth, you might possess high levels of intelligence. You're observant towards the things around you. The smartest person in the room isn't always the loudest. In a world where people speak to prove who they are, highly intelligent people are just the opposite. They tend to be silent and observe rather than brag about their achievements or say how right their opinions are. When you have a chance to consider everything, you can see things others have missed, such as subtle patterns. Intuition is one of the greatest talents a human being can possess. Did you know that this guy is bad news after 5 minutes of dating? Have you always suspected that this colleague is a snitch? Did you know that this dress would be a disaster if you didn't get a closer look? If so, that's intuitive. Intuition is only a facilitator of methodological thinking and persuasion. This is advantageous when evaluating behavior. You are faster and more accurate than most people. And it's not even necessary to consciously consider and analyze every element of the question. You're empathetic and compassionate. The first trait is that you might be overly empathetic and compassionate in many different settings. Christine Scott Hudson, psychotherapist and owner of Create Your Life Studio, says that there's a correlation between emotional intelligence and high IQ and psychometric ratings. We know that the higher a person scores on the empathetic traits, the higher they score on the effective speech comprehension traits. In other words, empathy, which is part of emotional intelligence and understanding, which is part of cognitive intelligence, are directly related. So if you lead with your heart, says Scott Hudson, chances are you also lead with your head. Empathy and compassion are not qualities many people possess. Many people are sensitive, but compassion and empathy are much more than that. Empathy is a rare state of mind that can be defined as the mental process that allows one to recognize the emotional state of another. They experience an exact combination of the exact emotions and sensations they perceive. If you always put yourself in other people's shoes and understand them, then that's a clear sign that you are very intelligent. Empathy and compassion are part of high emotional intelligence. You have control over yourself. Having the ability to be self-sufficient means that you're an adult. You know how to control your emotions and impulses so they don't cause harm. Self-control is a sign of intelligence because it means you are more likely to think before you speak or act. When these people feel discomfort in their lives, they also try to solve the problem and relieve the discomfort quickly. Smart people tend to have strong self-control and can resist impulsive decision-making. A team of psychologists from Yale and other universities tested it in 2009 with a study. They tested the link between self-control and intelligence by giving participants intelligent tests and giving them cash rewards. Participants can choose to pay immediately or wait longer and receive higher amounts. Those who chose to wait for money tend to have the highest test scores. If you tend to weigh all of your options carefully and can resist making impulsive decisions, then maybe it's time to embrace your hidden genius. You have a good memory. It was found that working memory and general intelligence are strongly correlated. When you have a good working memory, it means you have executive skills, good short-term memory, and the ability to focus and pay attention. It also means that you have cognitive flexibility and can easily switch from one task to another. Remembering things from your childhood when you were 2 or 3 years old is also a sign of having a good memory, and hence possessing a bit higher intelligence as compared to others. So if you have a good idea about what you had for breakfast 2 days before, then maybe you're more intelligent than you think. You know and recognize your limits. Highly intelligent people don't try to act like they know everything. In fact, the mark of intelligence is recognizing that you don't know everything. If you can't do something, you don't just do it or act like you can. Instead, you just know and acknowledge your own limitations, strengths, and weaknesses. This allows you to learn more from other people and/or situations. People who tend to accept their limits and boundaries and accept that they might not know everything there is to a concept or topic are said to be smarter than the average person because it takes a lot of courage to accept that you don't know about a specific thing or topic. You like to go with the flow. The smartest people don't waste time worrying about things they can't control. If you're flexible and able to go with the flow, you're more likely to be very smart. Rather than being rigid about the needs, we remain mentally flexible, open-minded, and adapt easily to life, no matter what. This is what it means to be able to accept what life throws at you, which basically shows that you can solve problems and find solutions quickly. But going with the flow doesn't mean that you have no part to play in life or no decision to make. It means that you make the best of the options that are available and given to you. You're passionate about things that seem interesting to you. Curiosity, enthusiasm, and a desire to learn are key characteristics of highly intelligent people. According to Dr. Holly Schiff, a licensed clinical psychologist, highly intelligent people follow their curiosity. They can admit they're not familiar with certain concepts, or there's something they don't know, and they're ready to learn what they don't know, says Schiff. Their cognitive curiosity will lead to a want, an impulse to educate themselves and read anything they can get their hands on, she said. They spend a lot of time and energy learning what they can do when they are really interested in something. You ask thought-provoking questions. Highly intelligent people do things with a purpose. They don't ask a lot of questions just to ask a question, according to Dr. Andy Simon, a corporate anthropologist and author of Rethinking, Demystifying Women in Business. They do this to gain an understanding that can help them better understand what they do, think, feel, and expect. Someone must have said something often quoted. Knowing is the answer. Intelligence is asking the right questions, Simon says. We forget that all life is a conversation. Smart people recognize that through common conversations, they have information and ideas that help others grow, expand their wisdom and intellect. You're a night owl. There are various studies showing that night owls, who like to stay up late and are more productive at night, have higher IQs than most people. It has nothing to do with developing the habit of studying or reading at night. The brains are just more active and efficient at night. If you have a habit of studying at night, and you think that you understand the concepts better if you study at night rather than the day, then there might be a chance that you're more intelligent than the average person. However, you should not confuse night owls or sleeping late with insomnia. These people have no trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. They just sleep late according to their own choice. All these different types of indicators are just to make one realize his or her own level of intelligence, as it's said that you can throw stones in any direction and hit anyone who is overly confident and thinks he or she is smarter than he really is. But there are far more people who realize that they are actually smarter than they think they are. So if you find that you possess some of these qualities, then you might be more intelligent than you give yourself credit for. Intelligence is bound to reveal itself in many ways. You just need to be smart enough to realize it.